Hello all, this is Nandhini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science at Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. Now we are going to discuss about RAD model in software process model. So let's discuss RAD model, so which means Rapid Application Development Model. So it was a response to plan driven waterfall process, and it is developed in the 1970s and 1980s. So this RAD model, it has such as a structured system analysis and design method. So the RAD model is often referred as the adaptive software development. So the RAD is an incremental prototyping approach to software development that end users can produce better feedback when examining the live system as opposed to working strictly with documentation. It puts less emphasis on planning and more emphasis on adaptive process. So the RAD model may result in a lower level of rejection when the application is placed into production. But this success most often and comes at the expense of dramatic overruns in project cost and schedule. So the RAD approach is especially well suited for developing software that is driven by user interface requirements. So some GUI builders are often called Rapid Application Development Tool. So this is a small introduction about RAD model. So this is the diagram of RAD model. It has different stages, different phases. So there are requirements planning, construction and cutover. So the requirements planning, it is the first stage, and second one is user design. So it is depends upon the three stages, that is refine, prototype and test. Then the next stage is constructions, and the last one is cutover. So this is the diagram of RAD model, that is Rapid Application Development Model. So it has various phases. So let's discuss one by one. So the first stage is business modeling. So the information which is follow among business functions, which is defined by answering the questions like what data drives the business process, and what data is generated, and who is generated, and where does the information go, and who processes it. So these questions are defined in this business model. And the second model is data model. So the data in this model, the data are collected from the business model and which is refined into a set of data objects, that is entities, so that are needed to support the business. So these attributes, that attributes are characters of each entity, and these attributes are identified, and which is the relationship between these data objects is defined. And the third phase is process modeling. So the information objects are defined in the data modeling phase are transformed to achieve the data flow which is necessary to implement a business function. So the processing descriptions are created for adding, modifying, deleting or retrieving the data object. So this is the process model. And the next phase is application generation. So in this phase, the automated tools are used to facilitate the construction of the software, even they use the 4th GL techniques. And the last stage is testing and turnover. So many of the programming components have already been tested since RAD emphasizes reuse. So this reduces the overall testing time. But the new part must be tested and all interfaces must be fully exercised. So these are the various phases of RAD model. So this is the assessment, and these are the reference. Thank you.